Hello everyone. I hope you had a good long weekend. If you were celebrating Ramadan, Passover, Easter, Vaisakhi, or Mahavir Jayanti, I hope your celebrations were and continue to be meaningful. I know that some of you may be finishing up end-of-term papers, projects, and exams, and I hope those go well so that you can have a bit of a break before spring term. And if you're finishing your program this term, congratulations. I look forward to celebrating you in June. More information will soon follow for this year's graduates. Let me say a few things about spring term. In spring term, we will continue to be in person for classes. If this is challenging for you because of distance or your health challenges or the health challenges of someone you live with, then please go to the website and complete the general petition form and submit it by Monday, April 25th at 11:59 p.m. so that the committee can review these on Tuesday morning and we can get back to you. This will give time for me to get IT support in place for those who are studying remotely for spring term. The one class where remote learning is not possible is the Introduction to Art Therapy because of the highly experiential nature of the class, so it does not lend itself to the remote format. If this is an issue for you, please be in contact with the coordinator of your program. Also, as you've probably already heard from Laurier, the masking policy will remain in place until the end of May, at which point it will be evaluated again. So you will need to continue to wear your mask at any time you're in the building. On Friday, April 29th, we will welcome a number of our graduates who were unable to convocate in person because of the pandemic over the last 2 years. We will have a reception for them at Luther in the early afternoon, and then we will go across campus for convocation. I'm really looking forward to seeing our graduates and being able to celebrate with them and their family and friends. For those of you who are finishing this term, we'll welcome you and your friends and family to Luther on June 17th. Convocation is in the morning, so we will gather in Luther following the convocation ceremony. And I'd ask you to stay tuned for further details around that event as well. These are wonderful times to celebrate your accomplishments, although I have to say they're always a little bittersweet for me, because it's wonderful to be part of a student's learning process and witness the growth and development that happens throughout their program. So it's a little sad to see you go as well. But at the same time, it's quite fun to hear from our alumni occasionally to see what they're up to and how they're embodying the learning in their professional experiences. This year has been a very challenging year again as we continue to live with COVID-19. We think it's coming to an end, and then another variant appears. The apparent never-ending experience of the pandemic has been very hard and exhausting. And through it all, we've continued to adapt and do the best we can to address these challenges. The world has also felt very unsettled and chaotic with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This war has also highlighted the many areas in our world where conflict is being experienced and the important work that needs to continue for peace. And then we continue to hear about the graves of Indigenous children that are being found, and we are called to hear the heartbreak and anger that is being expressed by Indigenous people. So much is happening in our world, in our communities, and in our families. And I recognize the extra strain and pressure that is put on you as you've been trying to continue and complete your courses. And I commend you for the persistence that you've demonstrated throughout this time. I've become aware of some incidences in classes at Luther where members of marginalized communities have been harmed through texts that have been required reading in classes or things that have been said. This is hard to hear, because I would want this to not be true. But it is crucial that we at Luther listen to your voices and hear your experiences so something can be done. I want you to know that I take these issues extremely seriously, and I am very sorry they have occurred. And I have been addressing the individual situations as they have arisen. Through hearing of these situations, it's become clear to me that we as faculty have work to do in educating ourselves to learn more about our unconscious biases and also how to support all students to learn well. We understand that the classroom needs to be a place where there is critical engagement of course materials and challenging conversations can be had, so that as you leave Luther, you are more equipped to engage these kinds of conversations and support people from diverse communities in respectful ways. This means as faculty, we need more preparation in order to do this work better. I'm in the process of organizing some training for faculty and staff regarding gender and sexuality. I'm also working with Eden Hennessy at Laurier's Student Equity, Diversity and Inclusion Office to offer an opportunity for students from the LGBTQ2+ community to gather in a focus group to share for them what it's been like to study at Luther. However, to convene such a focus group, I need to submit an administrative research ethics application. I hope to have this arranged for spring, but the timing will depend on how long that process takes. Following this focus group, I look to organize other focus groups to hear students from other marginalized communities so that we have a clearer understanding of the students' experience at Luther. This will support our ongoing work to create a just and optimal learning and working environment. A workshop on how to work with members of marginalized communities for a spiritually integrated psychotherapy and spiritual care perspective is also in the work, so stay tuned for those details. Thank you to those of you who have had the courage to raise your concerns. I'm sorry that you've needed to, and I appreciate that you have done so. Only as we face the truth can we work to have things be different. At any time, if you have questions or concerns, please feel free to raise them to the coordinator of your program. Or if that doesn't feel comfortable for you, reach out to any member of the faculty or to myself. Or if you find that none of those options feel okay for you, then you're free to access the resources at Laurier, either through the Office for Equity, Diversity and Inclusion for Students, or through the Conflict Resolution Office. Thanks to all of you for being here, and I appreciate all that you've offered to this community. Best wishes for our graduates as they leave to pursue their interests, and for those of you who are continuing to study, I look forward to seeing you. Bye for now.